All right, guys, welcome back. Let's have a look at question 4. It says the graph of f of x is drawn below, which is the graph that we can see right here below, and it's also a hyperbola. And then they said M, it's a point where the asymptote of f intersect. So this is this point where the asymptote intersect. So now let's have a look at this point here. It is easy. We can say if we have a look at here is P and Q. So therefore this is 3, and then therefore this should be 4. Okay, and then they said C and D are x and y intercept respectively on f. Okay, we see D there, and then we also see right there A. It's a point of or is a point on f that is closest to M. All right, then we can see that. Now let's have a look at 4.1. Says write down the coordinates of M. Coordinates of M, if we can see here, is just going to be 3 and is to 4. So those are our coordinate. 3 is to 4, right, which is just the intersect of the lines of asymptotes. All right, 4.2, calculate the coordinates of D. Right, coordinates of D is right here. It's the y-intercept on the graph. So now it means 4.2 is going to be given by it is our y-intercept. We get y-intercept when x is equal to 0. So therefore we get y-intercept when x is equal to 0. So therefore it means here on our f of x we need to make x is equal to 0x minus 3 plus 4. So therefore it means here f of x is equal to 0. So therefore 0 minus 3 plus 4. Therefore, when you put this in our calculator, we found that f of x at 0, I put this in my Casio calculator, I found that is equals to 8/3. So therefore, it means D is what is to be given by 0 is to 8/3, which is our y-intercept. Great. So therefore 4.3 said if y is equals to x plus t is the equation of line of symmetry of f, calculate the value of t. So you would know that line of symmetry, you get it when you are using this here, and it's an equation that is given by the straight line. So therefore 4.3, you're gonna come here and say, okay, this is what we are given. They want us to find the value of t. So basically here, this is the line of of symmetry with a positive gradient. So this line is passing through point P, which is this line here, right, through point M, I mean to say. Sorry about that, guys. So if it's passing through point M, it's simple. I'm just going to substitute x and y here, then we'll find the value of t. So therefore y is equals to 4, x is equals to 3 plus t. Therefore t will have to be 4 minus 3, which gives us t is equals to 1. Right, great stuff. So 4.4 says determine the values of x for which f of x is less or equal to 0. So what does this mean? When you in interpret, it said find where is the value of x where this graph is below the x-axis. Okay, is below x-axis, right? So guys, here I have got a video that explains what each of these mean, even though they're dividing with the other function, things like this, g of x divided by f of x. Then they ask you for which values of x this will be true, right? So now if you have a look at here, if they said greater or equal to, it will be above. So they are saying below. So where in this graph is this graph below the x-axis? It starts here at this point C, going down here. It is below the x-axis when you start here, when it cuts at C. But we don't know the coordinates of C. So basically, in order for us to express this, we need to know the value of, or the coordinates of C. So we'll come here and say, okay, now 4.4. C is what is x-intercept. So C is x-intercept. We get it when y is equal to 0. So therefore, this is what we would do in this case. We need to find the coordinates of C, right? We need to find the coordinates of C, right? So now here, this is what we are going to do. F of x is 0 is equals to 4 all over x minus 3, therefore plus 4. Then we take our 4 to the other side. We're going to have negative 4 is equals to 4 all over x minus 3. Therefore, what we can do here, we can cross multiply. So we're going to have negative 4 in brackets minus 3 is equal to 4. Multiply by negative 4 throughout to remove the brackets. This will be positive 12 is equals to 16 is equals to 4 rather, right? So therefore, we take the 12 to that side. Negative 4x is equals to 4 minus 12, right? Minus 12. So we're going to have negative 4x is equals to negative 8 divided by negative 4 divided by negative 4. So our x value will have to be equal to 2. So therefore, this simply means we are going to have, for all the values of x that are, when you, this is what, this is 2 is to 0. So this is going there. So you're going to say for all the values that are greater or equal to 2, but however, it's not supposed to touch the line of asymptote. Therefore, you need to say but needs to be less than 3. Okay, and this is how you would answer question 4.4. Moving right along to 4.5. Right, 4.5 says here, calculate the coordinates of A. Right, so now there's many ways to kill a cat here at 4.5. All right, either 4.5, you see this one here, right? 4.5, remember there's that equation of line of symmetry, ne? That passes through this point, which is 3 is to 4, right? So now, either this is where the two graphs intersect. So you can either say, in this case, you can either say, you remember guys, we have this equation here of, x plus 1, the one we calculated, and then we also have f of x 4 all over x minus 3 plus 4. So now this is where the two graphs intersect. You can equal the two graphs here. You can say f of x is equals to y, then you solve for x. Once you find the x value that is sitting here, therefore you should be able to go and find the y value. However, you can also use this other method. Let me come here, change the color so that you guys are able to see what I'm talking about. However, you can do this. What you can do, but however, you must remember this. There's this formula there on your textbook, guys. It says here, if you were to find the coordinates, this is what you must use. For those of you who can still remember this, great stuff. Then you can just use this straight away, plus q. This is how you find the coordinates of a point on a hyperbola that is closest to the M, which is closest to this point of intersection here. Right. So now, if you have a look, if you have a look, the a value here is what? It's 4. This is our a value here on our hyperbola, which is 4. This is our this is our p, and therefore this is our q. For those of you, this is what? This is our p, and then this is our q, and therefore this is our a value, right? So what you can do, you can just come and substitute your values here. You can say square root of 4, right? Okay, and then p, it's a positive, so you can say plus 3, and therefore square root of 4, because it's in a positive, that's why you put 4. If it was in the minus, you're gonna put a negative here, right? And therefore you can say plus 4 there. Then what you can do, you can come here and say, okay, now a is equals to square root of 2, which is 2 plus 3, and therefore this side 2 plus 4. Okay, now our coordinates will therefore be 5:6, right? Okay, so this is just the quick way of doing it. I'm just gonna put this one as option 1. This is the quick way of doing it. Option 2, guys, is this one here of equating the two equations. So what I'm gonna do in this case, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I'm just gonna show you that you can get that the x value will be equal to 5, right? So let's equate the two equations right here, right? Okay, now f of x, okay, we already did that. So it's going to be 4 all over x minus 3 plus 4 is equal to x plus 1, right? Great stuff. So now what we can do now, okay, you can take the 4 that side. 4 over x minus 3 is equal to, okay, x plus 1 minus 4, and then 4 all over x minus 3 is equals to x minus 3. So therefore can multiply throughout with minus 3, multiply both sides with x minus 3. Then I can also multiply this side with x minus 3. This x minus 3 and this one would cancel out. I'm left with 4 is equals to, then I might also remove the bracket here. I'm gonna move a little bit quick here, guys, so that you guys can just double check my mathematics. Minus 6x plus 9, take 4 to the other side, 4 is equals to 0. So therefore x squared minus 6x, and therefore plus 5. Is it? Yes, equals to 0. So therefore you factorize these two numbers here, x and x. This is for those if you can't remember what, then x is equals to 1 or x is equals to 5. So clearly, as you can see, this x value does check out even here. Therefore, once you finish, you can substitute this value in any of the equations. So if you were to put 5 here, clearly you can see it's going to be 5 plus 1, which gives you a y value of 6, which is exactly what we got there using that short method. So just in case you can't remember this, you can simply use either of the method that I just shown you here, right? So now you've got option 1 and option 2, making life very easy with option 1 right here. So this would be your option 2 there. Great stuff. So now let's have a look at question 4.6. all right, 4.6 says a single transformation is applied. While I'm also changing the color here, let me go back to red. It says that a single transformation is applied on f to obtain a new graph as shown here. Okay, this is the new graph, and then they said a is the image of a under this transformation. Calculate the length between a and a prime. All right, so now if you have a look at this, okay, so let's say 4.6. all right, I just want to show you something here, guys. F of x, it is given to us by 4 over x minus 3 plus 4. The key here is to look at your lines of asymptotes. Okay, minus 4 all over x, what is here is going to be what? Positive 3 plus 4. So the key here, guys, is to look at your lines of asymptotes to get the clue of what kind of transformation happened here. So now, if you have a look at your line of asymptote, the 4 remains the same, but the 3 changes. Now it becomes what? -3. So it means this line of asymptote now, it's sitting here. It came this side. So with the what? With a -3 there. Okay, so now you can clearly see that this is a transformation along the y-axis. So now it means what you did in grade 11, guys. So what happens? So this one here, it means now your okay, let me not put the dotted line here. Let me change the color for you guys. Then it simply means here what happened here, you took this A and then you brought it here. So now our A is sitting here as an A prime. So what does this mean? So if it moved to this quadrant, it simply means now here you're going to have -5 is to 6, right? So simple transformation like that, guys, by merely just looking at the line of asymptote here, as you can see that this line of asymptote remained the same, which is exactly what we did here. It remained the same. Here it is, here it's 4, but this one here changed. It was -3 initially, which gave us a +3. So here is +3, which means it's going to give us a line of asymptote of -3. So now you've got these two values. The question now is asking you to find the distance between these two values of A right there. Right, so what do? You know, with the values of a distance, negative will not count. So the distance simply between A and A prime will just simply be 10 units. Right, because you don't count the negative, you'll just count from here up to here is 5. From there up to there is going to also be 5 units. Right, and that's how you would deal with question 4. If you've got any questions, please let me know on the comment section below. I am Gaston Mapala. Let me see you on the next one, where we'll be doing question 5. Should you let's take a snapshot of question 5. Question 5, it's a parabola. Interesting one. So join us on the next video. We'll be discussing this question, looking at the solutions, and then you can see how you did on the June exam. See you on the next one.